and then you come to my school and you give me a dirty slap. Hi, I've suffered in this life. Hey guys, my name is Debbie and you're welcome back to Debbie's Hive. I had no plans of filming today, but I had a shoot. I did my makeup good and I was like, you know what, you deserve to see me looking this cute, and I know you agree, of course. In today's video, I'm about to drop all my steez and share with you the top 5 most embarrassing things that have ever happened to me. Honestly, I thought long and hard, and these were the top 5 that came to my head. I hope nothing worse than these has ever happened to me, and I pray that nothing worse than these 5 things would ever happen to me in this life. I just think all the embarrassment that I would have had in future, these 5, they've covered it well. So let me just live an embarrassment-free life. Number 1 on the list has to be when my mom slapped me at my school graduation. Mommy Vero, what did I ever do to deserve such treatment from you? All I've done is love you, respect you, and then you come to my school and you give me a dirty slap for what I did not do, or for what you assumed I was doing that I did not do. See, if not that you are my mother, if not that you are my mother, and I've forgiven you for the love of God, so I'm just going to let this one go. So I was in SS1, oh, you guys, because I moved to like a new school for senior secondary, and we were doing like graduation party. First term, I was a new person in school. I didn't have any friends. Second term, that was when, I started like talking to people. It was now by third term that I can say, okay, I now had my own friends. I had my own circle. So we're doing graduation in school. My set was not graduating because I was in SS1 going to SS2. So I know on that day, I was supposed to travel with my mom to my hometown. And the plan was I would go to school for the party, then she would come pick me up later on. I got there, my mom had gotten me this grey colored skirt, a white shirt, shoes. The fact that I remember what I was wearing on that day is all the evidence you need to know that this is a day I would never forget in my life. Because what did I really do to deserve this slap? In fact, now that I'm talking to you guys about it, I'm getting angry. I think after this call, I'm going to call my mother. She's gonna explain to me why she slapped me in school. For what? But anyways, back to my gist. So, I was hanging out with my friends. We're doing the graduation. Everything was going well. After some time, we decided to, just walk down the street to get snacks, water, biscuits, all of those things. We go there, buy our stuff, and then while walking back, all of a sudden, I start hearing, Deborah, Deborah, Deborah. I turned, lo and behold, Mommy Vero. Before I could even say, Mommy, I received a slap. Now that I'm imagining the slap, my brain is still shaking. Before I could even say, Hey, Mama Vero, what did I do? She said, you told me you were going for graduation and you went out. You are walking up and down. I was even trying to say, it's something I went to buy. This woman dragged me. That's how we went home. In fact, now that I think about it, I'm glad she dragged me home and she did not drag me back to the graduation hall. Imagine after giving me a dirty slap, then you will not force me to go back there and sit down. So, she was so angry. She dragged me home. Now, my mom, she's this kind of person that if she goes somewhere with you, in fact, she expects that whenever you are outside, whenever you're in public, you see the way I'm seated like this, with my legs crossed. Okay, you cannot see my leg because the video is quite close. She expects you to just sit, be quiet, don't jump up and down, don't be walking up and down, be composed. That is what my mom expects from you all the time. So for her to now get to where I told her I was going to be, she did not see me. It's like, that's the worst thing I could have done. And she doesn't know where I went to. She does not even know if I even came for the graduation. She was not sure if I went for the party. But you guys, even now as an adult, I still think about it and I'm like, damn, I did not deserve that slap. I just went to buy biscuits. But yeah, that's definitely one of the most embarrassing things. Of course, she did not apologize to me, African parent style. I think when we got home, she tried to make like one of my favorite foods to make it up to me, but I was over it. And I remember when we resumed school, because we're supposed to go on this really long break, maybe for like a month or so. So even on the day of resumption, I was still thinking of what had happened. In my head, it's like, oh, my classmates, they saw my mom slap me twice on the road. So when I go to school, they would laugh at me or they would want to bring it up. So I was feeling like really embarrassed, really shy. But thank God, I got to school. Nobody mentioned it. I guess, because of the long break, everybody had forgotten. But I had not forgotten. So yeah, that is definitely one of the most embarrassing things that has happened to me. Secondly, I believe if you're a Romeo or a Juliet, basically if you're a lover boy or lover girl, this should have happened to you. Now, back then in school, I was the number one spaghetti chef. I'm going to call it spaghetti. It's not spaghetti. Like my spag is always 10 out of 10. And back then in school, we're just using tin tomatoes and geisha to whip it up. Oh. Talk more of like when it's outside school and there's chicken, there's carrots, there's all of those things. The chef in me used to come outside. When I dey cook spag, e no matter where you dey, you go perceive the aroma. I can cook spaghetti with my eyes closed, hands tied behind my back, and it's going to come at a 10 out of 10. Back then, no be now. Even now, I don't know how to cook spag as much as I used to make it then. I don't know. I think it's because back then I used to eat spaghetti a lot because, after noodles, it's like the next quick meal you could make. So I had made it so much that I mastered the recipe. I knew how to, put everything. I know the correct quantity of salt, maggi, pepper. Like I dey whip up spag. So after school, I think it was in 2016 or 2017, I decided to go and see my man in Lagos. So I came to Lagos and I was supposed to make lunch for us, but unfortunately, at the time I did not know it was unfortunate for me. I thought, I was about to show off my talent and my skills. If only I knew what the devil had planned for me. Jesus. Friends had come over. So of course I'm cooking. If his friends are around, they are going to eat. I don't even know what happened. Till today, I'm still thinking of that food. I'm like, what happened? Now, I've never made a spag that is as terrible as that spag. It was tasteless, salt not rich, pepper not rich. I didn't even understand what was happening, but you guys, that spag was bad. I don't know if it's because I was trying to impress my man, I was trying to impress his friends, but everything just went left. The tomatoes not red. It just felt like all the forces were against me. You guys, I was so embarrassed because first of all, if it's even only my boyfriend, this one is friends. And the painful part is, this is my specialty. This is something when I dey do. So what is going, like, I was so embarrassed. I did not even come out of the room that day again. He was the one that went to give his friends. I said, if you want to give them, go and give them. But I will not follow you on that errand. Back then, it was embarrassing to me. But now, as an adult, if I cook for you and the food is not nice, like, I don't feel bad. I don't feel nothing because I just think you could have cooked for yourself. You can go and buy food. Like, if I decide to cook for you, you don't have the right to complain. Even if it's sweet, it's not sweet, eat it like that. If you don't like it, go and cook for yourself. So as an adult, I don't get embarrassed when I make something that doesn't taste as good. But back then, I was so embarrassed because this particular one happened, is it last year? I'll be 2 years ago. So the memory is still fresh in my head. It still haunts me every day. So as you all know, or if you don't know today, I graduated from Madonna University. I studied physiology. The thing is, I actually graduated with a second class lower. And for the longest, I used to be so ashamed of that result. Like, if I'm having a conversation with someone and I see we're getting towards the part where they will ask you, what did you graduate with? I'll just find a way to change that topic. Mainly because, I knew I could have done more, I could have done better, all of those things. So I never used to like talking about my results. Now, one day as work, I'm chilling on my own, minding my business. This man, he was not the head of department, but he's like the next person after the head of department. So I think we're doing like one verification, accreditation. We're doing something, and there were people like moving around to different departments just to check and make sure, everything is going well, the work is being done. So he was not the head of my department, but the next person after the head of my department. So for some reason, he was in my office with some other officials that were doing the inspection, and I can't even remember what they were talking about. I just know they were having their own conversation on their own. I was sitting by my corner, minding my business. The next thing I heard was like, Debbie, now I'm sure she graduated with either a first class or a second class upper. Debbie, am I right? I turned. In my head, I'm like, which Debbie are you people talking about? Like, when did the conversation get to what result did I graduate with? And I said, no, sir, I did not graduate with first class. So, and I said, 2-1 is not bad now. It's not something to be ashamed about. You shouldn't feel bad. You tried, you did your best. And I said, yes, sir. I didn't know what to say. At that point, it's like, this man assumed I got first class. I've disappointed him by telling him he's not first class. Now he has given me 2-1. I will not come back and say, actually, sir, it's 2-2. Like, what sort of embarrassment is this for? Because I felt, it doesn't matter. It's not like I said it exactly. He assumed, and I just did not bother to correct the impression he had. So everything went well. Oh, that day passed. I completely forgot about the incident. If you work for the federal government of Nigeria or you are a civil servant, you would know that one thing they never fail to do is fill form. There's always form. There's always one form they want us to fill. And the way the form would come with so much urgency, it would look like, if you don't fill this form, they will sack you today. They will not pay you salary. That's how they gave us form to fill. Normally, they will ask you your qualifications, your results, so many unnecessary information, fill. So our head of department was supposed to sign. I got to this man's office. Like, the head of department will sign, then you take it to the admin building. I got to this man's office. HOD was not around. Guess who was to sign in his place? You're right. That man. The man I told. Did I tell him? I did not tell him. He assumed. That man that assumed I graduated with a second class upper. I was about to give him a form that they clearly wrote that I graduated with a second class lower. At that point, I wanted the ground to open and swallow me. I did not even want to submit form again. I was like, sir, I forgot to write something. Let me just go and write it and come back. The man said, no, don't worry. Let me sign and give to you. You can go back and write it. In my head, I'm like, are you sure? That's why I gave this man this form. And this man is someone who is very thorough. Like, likes to cross-check, read everything. So I'm very sure he read and got to that part where he saw that I graduated with a second class lower. But me, I did not even look at him. Me, I just threw my face go corner because imagine how awkward it will be when he gets to that part and then he looks at me and I'm looking at him. So I just made sure I was not even looking in his direction. I was just minding my business. But you guys, shit, that thing was so embarrassing. I'm feeling like a liar. But it's like, I did not lie. You assumed. It's just that I did not bother to correct the assumption. But you guys, it was so embarrassing. When I tell you the space between the first incident and when I had to submit this form was literally, I'm not sure it was more than a week. I swear it was not more than a week. It just felt like devil wanted to punish me, wanted to disgrace me, wanted to expose me for lying. Even after that day, anywhere I see that man, I'll just be thinking of it. Like, I don't know if he's thinking of it. He never mentioned it. He never asked me anything. But for me, whenever I see him, my conscience will start judging me. I'll start feeling like, there be this man now knows, first of all, you don't know books. Secondly, you're a liar on top. I could just feel my steams reduce at that point. And you guys, I did not like it at all. I think number 5 has to be when I was drunk at my in-laws wedding. And when I say in-law, I don't mean maybe my sister or my brother, that kind of in-law. I mean my partner, like his family members. I was drunk there. But don't worry, I shared that story time on this channel. I'll link it somewhere. If you want to know the full gist and everything that went down on that day, you have to watch that video. You guys, I have suffered. Like, I have suffered in this life. So you guys, these are the 5 most embarrassing things that have ever happened to me, I think, and I hope nothing is going to top this list because I can be very shy. Do you understand? I'm a shy girl. I don't need all this kind of embarrassment. So thanks for watching this video. I'm gonna see you on Saturday. Yeah, we have another video dropping Saturday, so please make sure you are subscribed to the channel and I'll see you. Bye guys.